As the economy begins to recover from the pandemic, inflation concerns are picking up. Local financial professional Brad Zucker from SMA Wealth Management joins us. He's sharing tips to help you understand and prepare for the impact of inflation on your wallet. Brad, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
So what do we need to know about the rate of inflation right now?
Well, since April, the rate of inflation is going faster than it has in more than 12 years as the economic recovery kicks into gear and energy prices have jumped. Now, one of the reasons inflation is on the rise is at this time last year, the economy took a hit because of the pandemic and we had unusually low inflation. However, the consumer price index that measures inflation, it measures a basket of goods, energy, and housing, is up 4.2% from 2020.
So how is inflation affecting everyday purchases?
You know, when we drive around here in Las Vegas and see all that new construction, you need to know that the lumber that you're seeing since the pandemic began has increased in price more than 232%. Additionally, gasoline prices here in Las Vegas since November have jumped from $1.89 a gallon to more than $3.65 a gallon. And now nationwide, gas prices are more than $3 a gallon based on a recent ransomware attack just as the summer driving is about to hit. And a shortage of homes for sale has pushed the prices through the roof, where home price inflation is now at a record 5.5% up from 4.8%.
So then how can we prepare our finances for inflation?
That's a great question. First, take a break from the credit cards. Instead of using them for purchases, begin to pay down the balance, starting with the smallest balance first while making minimum payments on the rest of your debt. Next, investing or staying invested in the stock market is a great way to help beat inflation. But if you're looking to reduce your risk and mitigate your stress, now's the time to sit with your professional to be certain your finances are on track to beat inflation. And of course, Americans regret not having enough money saved for emergencies during the pandemic. I always recommend 3 to 6 months of your expenses in a separate savings account in case you lose a job or miss a paycheck or an unexpected trip to the emergency room. When families don't have that cash, they need to borrow money, which could lead to a cycle of debt. So if you want to know how much you should have in your emergency savings account, then use the calculator right on my website at askbradzucker.com to crunch your numbers. Finally, one of the best ways of setting a goal is to look long-term and then think backwards. For example, if you want to retire in 10 years, then you need to start now by putting more money away on a monthly basis. I always recommend 10 to 15% of your paycheck right to a 401k or IRA. And if you're in the last 5 years of your career or the first 5 years of retirement, that 10-year window known as the financial red zone is absolutely critical that your lifetime income keeps up with inflation.
Brad Zucker always giving us great advice, and thank you for joining me. This is our first time talking about money, so I'm really going to get into it and start looking at my own finances.
Awesome.
You gave a lot of good tips there. So I just want to thank you so much for joining us this weekend.